Why your brain can't let go of someone who hurt you. Why do you keep thinking about someone who hurt you? You may have told yourself, I'm over it. You may have stopped talking to them. You may have moved on with your life. But then, suddenly, a memory comes back. A sentence they said, a look on their face. Something you wish you had said. And you wonder, why am I still thinking about this person? Here's something important to understand. Your brain doesn't always hold on to people because you still love them. Sometimes, your brain holds on because the story never felt finished. When something hurts us emotionally, our brain tries to understand what happened. It searches for an explanation. Why did they do that? What did I do wrong? Could I have prevented it? Why didn't I see it coming? What if I had said something different? And that's where the cycle begins. You replay the conversation. You imagine a different ending. You create another explanation. Then you replay it again. Not because you want to suffer. Your brain is trying to solve a problem it believes is still unresolved. This is why closure can be so difficult. We often think closure comes from the person who hurt us. We imagine that one day they will apologize. They will finally understand what they did. They will explain why they treated us that way. And then, we will finally be free. But sometimes that day never comes. And waiting for someone else to give you closure can keep you emotionally connected to them for years. The difficult truth is this. You may never receive the explanation you deserve. You may never hear the apology you hoped for. You may never understand why someone who once seemed to care could hurt you so deeply. And that doesn't mean you cannot heal. Healing begins when you stop asking, what can they do to make this pain disappear? And start asking, what can I do with what happened? That is a completely different question. You cannot change their behavior. You cannot rewrite the past. You cannot force someone to understand your pain. But you can decide that their actions will not control the rest of your life. And something interesting happens when you do. The memory may still exist, but it begins to lose its power. You remember what happened, without needing to relive it. You can think about that person, without needing them back. You can acknowledge that they hurt you, without allowing that hurt to define you. And eventually, you realize something powerful. You weren't actually trying to get that person back. You were trying to get back the version of yourself that existed before they hurt you. And that version of you may not come back. But something stronger can take its place. A person who knows their boundaries. A person who recognizes warning signs. A person who no longer begs for explanations from people who refuse to give them. A person who understands that closure doesn't always come from another person's apology. Sometimes, closure is the moment you decide that you don't need one anymore. You don't have to forget what happened. You just have to stop allowing what happened to keep happening inside your mind. Because the goal isn't to erase the memory. The goal is to remember it, without letting it own you. This is Mind Rewire. And sometimes healing begins with one simple decision. The past can explain me, but it doesn't get to control me.